I was dropping the money. Here's the money. He's getting the money.
Give me good
money. Then he's justice. You'll choke on it.
Give me good advantage rolls.
Yeah, no, that won't buy you your life.
Get the plague and die.
It's pizza money, just in case you were wondering.
Plague and die? What the hell is wrong with you?
Right, Peter.
It is Wednesday, the 6th of June 2018. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, Curse of Strahd.
It is Curse of Strahd. So, quick recap from last week. The characters arrived at eventually the village of Barovia. But before that, they arrived at a large gate, which they experimented around with a little bit by walking backwards and forwards in the fog to see whether they would choke or could open it or push it or something. And then they ended up finding a note. They found someone that had been attacked by slaves in the bushes, and they got a letter that he was carrying, or a note he was carrying, and
What did the note say?
We are doomed. If you read this, you're doomed as well.
You want to recap the note?
Thank God.
Yeah, go on.
Somebody put that in their sleeve.
Urban, thank you. We thank you.
Because if that hadn't happened, we would not have it now. And then what?
True.
Then where would we be?
Do you want to recap it?
God, if I could read this writing, yes.
I didn't write it.
Would you like to hand it to a teacher?
No, I'm all right.
Oh, that's low.
Yeah, what do you mean?
That's low.
What are you saying?
I'm saying our lives consist of reading illegible handwriting the entire freaking time.
How do you reckon it'd be like being a pharmacist, eh? Anyway. Hail thee of might and valour. I, the Burgomaster of Barovia, or Barovia. Is it Barovia?
Barovia.
Send you honour with despair. That's weird. That's
Honor with despair, the best type.
There's like honour / with despair.
Ba, ba, ba.
My adopted daughter, the fair.
Adopted daughter?
My adopted
not
daughter. Oh my God, this is going to take forever.
Shut up and listen.
My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Koliana,
Yes.
has been these past nights bitten by a vampire.
Vampire.
And I should say it's spelled that way, vampire. For over 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. What the hell does that say? How's my dear?
How's my dear?
What?
Can somebody else read it?
How, my dear Irina, languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up the dead, and encircle this land with the symbols of good. Let holy men call upon their power, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves, and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life.
How?
Polyan Indinovich, Burgomaster.
That bit makes that last bit never makes any sense.
Kolyan. I'd say Kolyan
Polyan, yeah.
Indinovich.
Indinovich.
So after all dead, he can return for his reward.
When they're all dead, you might as well come over here because the goodies will still be
But
here.
haven't they sealed this place off at this point and zapped it to another dimension? By holy men?
Anyway, should we continue on?
Yeah.
While
Who
you
knows?
ponder this note?
Who knows? It's all gibberish.
All right.
Well pondered.
Okay.
So what's happening?
So-
Last I recalled, we all split up.
I'm doing the recap.
Oh, okay.
As we got to the note.
Okay.
So you arrived in the village of Barovia. You went into Mary's house. You met Mary, who was grieving over her
Oh,
poor
yeah.
Gertruda.
Gertruda.
She was, in fact, not holding or cuddling a dead baby, but in fact a doll.
Yeah, we thought it was a dead baby.
That
But
she
it's a
asked
doll.
for you to
A
return
dead doll.
to
No, just a
Gertruda.
A live doll.
That's
my game.
The doll had obviously seen better days, had been passed down. It used to be Mary's, and then she passed it to Gertruda.
My doll's
The things that you noticed that were interesting about it is the doll actually has magical properties and could actually take one death save for you if necessary. Also, you noticed that on the doll in the hem was stitched the words "is no fun, is no Blinsky" in the doll.
Exactly.
And you've taken the doll and promised to
It's
return
not
it to
Blinsky.
Gertruda. Some of the other characters then had an adventure in Bildrath's mercantile. And they went and bought some things and
That's
bought
right.
some garlic and
Really
Bought
expensive garlic. from
yeah,
what I can
bought
recall.
some mallets or something.
Yeah.
I think Ray's character was after some mallets and some other stuff. Is anyone keeping a party list of what you
Who knows?
We'll have to go back and do that.
Who
We'll go
knows?
listen
Look,
to
as far as I'm
YouTube
concerned,
clip
if the
again.
character bought it, the character should have wrote it down. And if the character, well, the player should have wrote it
If
down.
they haven't,
And if
they've
they
lost it.
haven't, then they are losers.
Damn right.
Losers. What is it? Right way around?
Oh jeez.
It's reversed when you look at it.
Then
Is that
Bill
is
Rath.
that yours though, Saxon?
That's pretty much everything.
Oh, did you write down what people bought? Give us a recap, Saxon.
Actually, no, I've only written
Right,
down
okay,
here,
no.
looking at it, what we actually rescued from the cave where the
Oh, good,
cultists
okay.
were.
Oh, okay. You only got that.
Yeah.
Okay, not what we bought in Bildrath's
No,
mercantile.
I think that
So
was something.
Bildrath then also suggested that you go and visit the Blood of the Vine
Mhm.
Tavern,
I like a
the local pub.
Blood of the Vine.
Jono took a really quick trip back to Mary's place because Bildrath made a comment that he had heard her stop crying and he hadn't heard her stop crying in ages, and you thought that she might be in some sort of trouble, and
or
he
did,
bolted upstairs and
which does count as in trouble.
found out that she was in fact just asleep.
Which was good. And then I came back in.
What does the cat
He
do?
came back down. He wants to get into the garage, which is why he's making noise.
So I was thinking before, you know, like if say a computer broke down, you might say it's not Blinky.
Blinsky
Blinsky. That's the same.
is no fun. Is
It's,
no
it's
Blinsky.
not fun. It's not Blinsky. Maybe I should say that next time I need to ring up IT.
Next time someone attacks
I
you,
think,
pull out a doll and
My computer is not fun, it's not Blinsky.
I think you should get it on a shirt. Should we get that on a
It's
shirt?
not fun.
Is no fun. Is no
Blinsky.
Blinsky.
I need to see the pretty girls.
Wait,
ow,
what?
ow, the light is hurting my eyes.
It's no fun, it's not Blinsky.
So you left Bildrath's mercantile, and now we
What?
are picking up
Yes.
where I believe Pete's character and
We're picking up
who
at
did
the
you
pub.
I just went.
Surely we don't have time for
I went
that.
with Ray. I went to the pub by myself.
Oh, you just went by yourself.
Well, we spent 3 groups. Those two went.
Yep.
Those two, and I think Saxon went
Yes.
to the house.
Yep.
Ray and Urban went to Bob's Rip-Off Merchants, and I went to the pub tavern, whatever it was.
Okay.
Okay.
Why did we do
Actually,
that?
I believe Ray's character came with us because we had the 2 characters who couldn't fit through the hole because of
Yep.
the big
Yeah,
hulking
Ray-
men,
Ray-
and the 2 skinny people.
Raymondo was definitely with
Yes.
me.
So you're by yourself.
I'm by
Okay.
myself.
As you
Time to gimp to them.
as you approach the Blood of the Vine Tavern,
Yes.
you notice that the very ornate sign that's obviously seen better days as
The
well.
ornate sign.
Someone has vandalized the sign and changed the F to an N, so it in fact says Blood on the Vine Tavern, and nobody's bothered to fix that back up.
Sounds like my
A single shaft of light thrusts illumination onto the main square, its brightness looking like a solid pillar in the heavy fog.
the
Above the
sign.
gaping doorway, the sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern.
The blood on the vine. Sorry. That was a bit loud.
Instead of blood from the vine, what is it
Blood
supposed
of the Vine.
Of
and
the
change it
vine.
On
Being
blood on the
wine.
vine.
Maybe I'll get blood vials from this place.
You were standing outside the door.
That's a loud cat, by the way.
Can I hear joyous music inside?
You can't hear any music. You do hear conversation inside.
I will enter.
You enter, and as soon as you enter, all conversation stops. The few people
The guy
that
playing
are-
the piano pauses.
that are in the tavern look towards the doorway, and then when they notice that you walk in by yourself, they quickly resume their conversation on what they were doing. So here's the scene that you take in.
Yes.
The barkeep. Do you remember his name? I did tell you his name last week.
I haven't met. I
No,
haven't
but
entered this place.
Bildrath said anyway. So his
I
name is
was,
Alec.
I was
We
there
did
for
mention
that.
him last week because Bildrath said Alec.
Alec.
Sorry, Arik. Arik the barkeep.
Alec the
Arik.
barkeep.
Yeah, though you wouldn't know that because you weren't with them. But anyway, I mentioned it last week. So anyway, Arik, you don't know his name,
Arik.
is behind the bar and he's busily cleaning glasses, and he puts one down and he picks the next one up and he cleans that one and he looks at it very carefully and he puts it down. And he goes,
Nobody really knows what
at
happens
another
to
table,
us.
there is a man drinking some beer sitting by himself. And then at another table, there are 3 women seated and they're chatting in conversation, also drinking wine and beer. And they continue to look at you for a bit and then they go back and resume their conversation. Another thing you notice kind of differently is these women that are sitting down, they sort of have brightly coloured clothing on. You'd kind of sort of think they were possibly gypsies.
They're here to steal your horse.
Where other people that you've noticed through the windows basically have kind of been dressed sort of dull. I'll let you take that in as I
Are
go
there
deal with
girls
the cat.
there?
Can we stab them?
Hello, women.
I was thinking that cat was so loud it could almost be a peacock.
I think it's the loudest cat I've ever heard.
The cat wishes to be without.
Opposable thumbs, get some.
This should be exciting for any
Only 3 or 4
watching at the
generations if you
moment.
evolve it just right.
Guess what, Pete? Guess what? There's a Star Wars Rebellion mod program and website.
Well, you found
So
it.
where did you get? I know I've got
I
the old
said
copy,
there'd
but
be
it was
one.
on. It's so long ago.
You
I've
can
got
get
it
it
on.
on Steam again. It's on
Really?
Steam.
Where all good crap is sold.
It's also on Golga.com.
You know what happened to my original copy?
What?
The CD-ROM drive in my computer carved a gouge into it, and it died.
Oh.
But that also tells you how long ago it was that I had it.
Oh yeah. CD-ROMs, one of those. Well, I'm just thinking, when was the last time I used a bloody CD?
Well, we still use it because my wife needs it for school because primary.
Anyway, so what are you doing?
Primary schools are a bit
I
hard.
shall go up to
behind.
the bar.
Yep.
And go
There's nothing
wine
wrong with
tea.
CDs, but
I wish to drink wine, for I only drink wine.
He puts down.
red?
White or red?
He puts down the glass that he's cleaning,
I don't know why this is funny.
and
Was it red wine?
Does not drink
he says to you, red or white.
I will have red because I like the grape.
He turns around, goes and gets a bottle from behind the bar, pours you a glass of wine.
And how much does this cost me?
He hasn't said anything yet.
You have to taste it first. That's how it works. You have to take a little taste of the wine, and then you have to say, well, how much do you pour out? A full thing? Or just a taste?
Oh, no, it's poured out like a decent sized glass, about half a glass.
Okay, I'll take a sip. Is it nice? Is it
Yeah.
poisoned?
Well, not that you've noticed so far.
Excellent.
Now spit it on the floor.
How much for the bottle?
It kind of looks you up and down. $2 pieces.
I would pay this. Excellent.
You think actually that's quite expensive?
I don't care. I now have only. Oh my god.
Let's keep that one.
What, you got a 2?
20. I'm up to 20.
Stop rolling. Stop
So,
moving.
so
much
now I
have you
just
got
have to
now?
work out.
I now have 413 instead of 415.
So how do we do it, Peter? How do you do the cheaty roll? Not like that.
No, exactly like that.
Cheaty roll and break your phone at the same time. Blah!
Yeah, you have to go black. I will.
Ooh, 20.
I have my thing. I have my glass.
Hang on, you have your thing, you have your glass.
I have my bottle. I
Oh,
have
okay,
my
right,
glass.
now I'm understanding, yeah.
I will lean up against the bar.
Maybe we all need dice
Yeah.
cards.
I surveyed the people in the room again.
He goes back to cleaning his glasses.
What's
Rolling
everybody
by the
else
way.
doing?
He notices that he's quite, he's a pudgy little guy. But anyway, he looks to be quite strong, and you wouldn't think he'd want to actually take him on. He's kind of one of those guys that looks actually
I bet
strong.
he was
I
good
didn't think of murdering everybody in the bar, but that
Just
may
in
happen
case.
at some point.
I
Just
bet,
in case you were going to go all Quentin Tarantino on
I
us.
bet
in
he
the
was
bar.
good at the shot put in high school.
Ask him.
I bet he was
Are you good at the shop?
Yeah. What's everybody else doing at this point?
Who's everybody else?
There are
The
three
other
women.
people in the freaking bar.
Three
I'm not
women
asking.
engaged in conversation. The man that's sitting by himself has noticed that you've taken a bottle of wine and a glass of wine.
He's noticed.
Well, you notice he's watching you.
Oh, he's watching.
There's-
Nobody else is watching me though?
No, the three women are still engaged in their conversation. They're the only other people that are in the bar at the moment.
Okay, he's watching.
He beckons you over.
I'm sure
I
it's
will come
engaging.
over.
Okay.
Hello there, Mahia. I noticed you seem to be noticing me. Perhaps there is some mutual reason.
No, please. You would you like to join me for a
Yes,
drink?
yes, I've like an entire bottle of wine here. It would be a shame if I drank it all by myself.
I was thinking the same thing.
Excellent.
Although, I'm quite happy to pay for my own wine, and he has a glass of wine, but he certainly doesn't have a bottle.
Well, whoever finishes first can share with the other.
I have drunk an entire bottle of wine in one go before. Like one evening.
That was the day you got fired, wasn't it?
And oh God.
Are you alright?
God, I was pretty drunk.
Yeah. Maybe don't do that again.
Red wine's pretty potent.
It
yeah.
can be.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the point of it, isn't
Pretty
it?
goddamn
And
potent.
this is what Alzheimer looks like. To the game.
Alcohol-induced Alzheimer's.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe we could just get back to the game. But I love it when we reminisce. It's kind of, I love it particularly when D&D imitates life. It's just beautiful.
But you know what? I
Yeah.
didn't pee my pants.
You didn't? You think this is going to happen in the game, do you? It's quite likely. It gets scary. You never know.
Jesus.
No, he's not here.
No.
Critical failure on your roll, or your bladder's out of control.
Excellent. Actually, I assume Strahd was a 40th level vampire. But anyway,
No,
continue.
he's quite high though.
Oh my God, 40th level. Is there such a update?
Continue the
Yes.
conversation.
Can we
no.
continue our conversation?
No.
I tell you what, you guys have swapped roles. He wants to play. You're being freaking annoying.
Sorry. I'll shut up now.
That's gold.
What brings you to Barovia as you sit down?
Ah, that's
What
a
brings
very
you to Barovia?
strange story.
Please.
Have you ever heard of travel by
I am
means?
Ismark, by the way.
Ismar. Ah, I'm forgetting my manners.
Mm.
I'm Ludovic von Fresno.
Pleased to meet you.
Excellent.
People around here call me, well, Ismark the Lesser.
Oh, your youngest son or something?
After my father, who's Burgermeister of the town. He accomplished so many fantastic things that I pale into insignificance
Collian
in his shadow. So I'm not regarded as much. I've basically taken on the title myself now. I've now introduced myself that way after being called it for so many years. It's hard when you live in a great man shadow.
One day you will come
that's
into
a
your
punishable
manhood
offence,
and
I'm
you will
afraid.
achieve
if not a capital one.
things of your own.
You see him look off into the distance a little bit, imagining that, and then he quickly comes back to talking to you again. But you've given him something to think about.
But I do not think you came here to
I
tell me
I
about
used to tell my students,
your lessons.
when, you know,
No, I
Oh.
often drink
Giving
here.
presentations
I live nearby.
and I said, do
Ah,
not.
I-
under any
yes, I'm here most nights.
circumstances
but you were asking me how I came here.
Yes.
Yes.
How did you come? I thought you said you
Oh,
did
it's
not
not
come
serious,
here by
really,
mistake.
I came here by a mist, apparently.
But if they did, I'd be.
It is a
Yes.
strange phenomenon. You'll travel into the mist and
Yes.
you end up somewhere else. This is
Oh.
the second time this has happened to me.
Really?
Yes.
When was the first time?
When I came to this other weird place full of strange people. Which is interesting because those strange people are still with me.
I thought you were alone.
No, I did lose my manservant. But the strange people, they're actually out there doing things.
And your pillows. I think you might have
Right.
lost your pillows as well.
I've never lost my pillows. My pillows are safe. One day I shall return and reclaim the pillows of my father.
People that are watching this now, you really have to watch the first episode to get that in context. We're not explaining it. Anyway,
Yeah, catch up.
excellent. So this is the second time you've apparently travelled by mist.
Yes.
Right.
He missed it the first time.
So, how long have you been in Barovia? I have not seen you around.
Oh, probably maybe 2 hours.
Oh, so quite recent.
Yes,
Well-
we know nothing about your charming country except it seems to be a little lacking in sunlight at the moment.
how do I explain this? If Barovia itself,
Yeah.
like the whole land, if Barovia was an arse, the village of Barovia would be its butthole.
That's very depressing.
It's a very depressing place, unfortunately. Ever since the devil.
The devil?
The devil.
The devil?
Is there an echo in here? Ever since the devil wreaked his havoc upon this village.
You mean you're cursed?
In a way, yes. Very much so.
By the devil.
By the devil himself.
What has happened?
People go missing, strange occurrences at night, animals attack, this fog that has descended upon us that never seems to lift, the constant cloud cover, we never see the sun.
So hang on, so this village is everything now, is it? So you're just all surrounded by mist? And
Yes.
it's just this village?
The mist seems to extend everywhere.
Everywhere?
Everywhere. Sometimes it clears, but never clears enough to be sunny.
Ah.
Vitamin D must be a bit of an issue around here.
Just take tablets as I
a
do.
lack of it. Yeah, I do too. I do that.
I
as well.
maintain my healthy power.
Or you could get out in the sun, you freaks. Anyway,
I do that as well, but for some reason I have vitamin D deficiency. Too much sunscreen, I think.
You're just supposed to eat it.
please don't.
What?
Please don't eat the sunscreen.
Should I take it as a suppository instead?
So glad we got that recorded. So glad.
So have you simply tried leaving?
I would like to actually. I would like to leave, and in fact, I fear for my poor sister's safety.
Your sister?
My sister, she is plagued by the devil. I believe that he wishes to take her from me.
He hasn't said a name.
Yes, but it's on you. This is the son of the Burgermeister. This is a letter from the Burgermeister.
So your sister is being plagued. Hang on, by the devil, or
Yes.
is it a devil? Does this devil have a name?
Around here, the devil.
Strahd von Zarovich.
Ah, so he's a member of the nobility.
Very much so. He dwells in Castle Ravenloft.
Ah, so there are other places plus the village.
Oh, there's many places.
Many places.
Barovia is a very large land.
So this isn't village Barovia, this is somewhere else. What is this village called again?
This is the village of Barovia.
And the land is called Barovia.
You catch on quickly. my friend.
But you just said this village was like the worst place in Barovia.
For me, it is a curse, and it's.
There's a village is the same as the land.
Yes, this
You
village.
think it'd be called Strahdsylvania or something, wouldn't you? The land?
No, I guess this was one of the first places of settlement in Barovia.
You have a conversation with the person who's there, but don't mind me.
So, what exactly is this
Throw
devil
peanuts.
doing with your sister exactly? What is this? What is this
He
attention?
has a certain fascination for her, I guess.
Yeah,
So he wants to
because he's a
marry
vamp-
her or something?
because he's a
Possibly.
vampire.
He,
Nobody's mentioned this.
she,
Yeah, I know.
she's been
I know you're
visited
golfing.
by him on numerous occasions.
She's sorry, what?
He has visited upon her
visited upon
at
her.
our house on numerous occasions.
And he doesn't take no for an answer.
I have never spoken to him personally.
But he's visited your house on various occasions.
Comes very late in the evening once we are sleeping. I've never seen him personally.
So what exactly? You're after some help with this problem, I assume. That's why
Please.
we're having this conversation.
Please.
Because I know some people
Some desperados.
who are like,
The most amazing gimps you've ever met.
yes,
I know it.
gimps. That's the word. Amazing gimps.
I know
They're expendable,
At,
but
at
they're
the
actually
risk,
competent.
at the risk of sounding like a madman,
Yes.
Strahd von Zarovich is a vampire. I know there are some people that don't believe in such things.
Vampires. Yes.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
No, I know nothing about vampires.
Do you believe they exist?
I've heard rumors.
Barovia is plagued with them.
Plagued with them.
Plagued with them.
Flash him a smile. Big toothy grin.
I don't have fangs yet.
No?
That comes when I get vampiric drain. I haven't got it yet.
I haven't worked up to fangs.
We'll get there. And when we do, then the fun will begin.
This is going to be interesting, you and Strahd.
Won't it? Just, I'm looking forward to it already.
So am I, actually. So, it's actually a vampire problem.
There are a number of problems in Barovia.
Do people pay well to get rid of these problems?
No, nobody pays anything.
That could be even better. Yes, I think I know exactly the people who can help you.
Unfortunately, my friend, I've heard rumours and also seen people like yourself that seem to mysteriously appear and then they mysteriously disappear just as quickly. So, if you would help me, it would be at great risk, I must warn you.
Excitement and adventure.
But I do, and if you have friends, as you say,
I have people I know.
I do require your assistance if that's possible. But I do not ask solely for myself, but on behalf of my sister, who I fear for her very life, having this devil who has visited her on a number of occasions, and I fear that very soon he will take her from me. As you've no doubt seen, you've just wandered into the village of Barovia yourself. It is not protected. I wish to take my sister to the town of Valaki, which is a lot more fortified. It had high walls. It would offer much more protection from at least the wolves and other animals that lurk around here at night.
So it's a larger place?
Much larger city.
How far away is it?
It would take us a few days walking.
Well, I can't speak for the rest of, I suppose, the people in my party, maybe you could call it. But they should be along any time now. When they arrive, you can propose to them and we'll see what they say. But
And the door opens.
And there they are.
Opens.
You,
Hail and well met.
as if on cue, all of you walk in.
Hello, I have lots of wine.
Why are you keeping it to yourself?
Because I only drink
Hang on,
lots of wine.
let me back up for a second, because I kind of railroaded you there. Do you wish to say anything more to him
No,
in
no,
private
I'm
before they walk in, or are you happy for them
I'm
just to come
perfectly
in?
happy
every
for
time?
the
I should have let you time that a little bit.
Is there
more.
bread and cheese?
Because they did say that after that they were going to head to the tavern,
Yeah.
so it seemed like an
No,
opportunity.
I don't want to hog the
Okay.
whole thing. They can come in and do.
All right, you walked in. You know the setting hasn't much changed. The barkeep looks up. He kind of goes like he's got more freaking work to do. Like he really doesn't want to because more people in there. The three women that are in still having a conversation actually smile when more people come in, but then continue their conversation. And then you notice Fresno and another gentleman who's probably in his 30s. You would say blonde hair, blonde silvery sort of hair, long down to his shoulders. Yeah.
You
Got
probably
a
think
bit
I'm
of a
trying to
Prince,
pick 'em up.
Prince Valiant vibe.
Yeah, kind of a Prince Valiant. Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
Yeah, but Prince Valiant had one of those stupid
He had a bowl
haircuts,
Hmm.
which was fashionable. at the
And you
time.
notice that the two of them are sitting at another
Comic
table.
world.
No, 1066.
I grab an ale from the bartender.
Yep. He looks you up and down, notices that you're in fact a dwarf, and smiles.
It's
And
the shoes, isn't it?
And are you buying a bottle or a cup like you
Just
just
a tankard.
take
Just a
it?
tankard.
I like
He
how
asks
they
for
smile
one
at
silver
his
piece.
interest as a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
just trying to find out how much. I've got
That's a
190
lot
gold
cheaper
pieces.
than
So he likes.
He looked like he could pay more.
He looks like
Well, yeah, really, he looks like he can pay more.
You
So
look
what's
like
a what's
you
a
could pay
what's a
more.
silver piece in gold
Me?
pieces?
10
It's
silver
usually,
pieces to
yeah,
one
usually
gold
a
piece.
10
Well, it depends.
exchange
What's,
rate.
what's the exchange rate? Should we look it up? Is it on? If I look up currency exchange, will it tell me?
What the hell? Oh, silver to
Currency
gold.
converter? No, if I look up currency converter, is it like I've got US dollar and euro? Could I get?
Can you get
Could I
Dungeons
get?
and Dragons?
Yeah, can I
money?
get that? You should be able to. I reckon.
Well, you'd have to get the local Barovian rate.
yeah.
It's not
Oh,
like
true.
a general
It's quite.
rate.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Smarty Pants. So I
Right,
can
let's
pay
go with
one
what's
silver
actually-
piece.
yeah.
Is that right?
Sure.
So for every 10 silver pieces, that's 1 gold piece.
Yes. Let's go with that.
Because
What's,
that's how.
what's an electrum piece worth?
Oh god, is that in between?
Yes.
Well then it's in, oh
I
crap.
thought they were all multiples
think
of
it's-
10.
No, the
What would you like to do
electronics
now?
file-
You he pours you some red wine.
Why?
No.
No, you want an ale?
Take
He
it-
pours
take
you
it
he
out.
I
pours you
thought
a
an
take an
entire
ale then.
I mean, that's reasonable.
On the dwarf.
Sure.
You
Oh,
said
I'm not
dwarf
worried
with
about that.
No,
Oh,
little
I'm just-
container, little
sorry.
Chardonnay.
Why don't bother
Sorry,
with electrum
no
pieces?
Chinese
It's
here.
just confusing.
Yep, he pours you tankard of ale. There's that.
I
he
take
looks
a
at-
little bit of taste. What's it like?
It's quite nice. It's alright. It's not the best you've had, but it's alright. It's drinkable.
It's
You could
it's
drink more.
ordinary
and enjoy.
ordinary
Oh,
tavern.
it's like kind of like what you'd expect from a
Okay,
small
that
tavern.
works.
And he kind of looks at you and goes, "Your friends?
Yes.
What do you want? What do I want?"
Gentlemen, what would you like?
An ale will do fine, thank you.
Another one for him?
Right, he pours another one. That's another silver piece.
Okay, yes.
I guess I'll have one as well.
And he pours another one.
Do you have any
Thank
wine?
goodness he had clean glasses.
No, sorry. Do you have any bread and cheese or pickled eggs maybe?
Jesus.
He finishes pouring all the drinks and he heads
That's
off.
normal for a bar.
Yeah, he heads.
I'm sorry, it's a bit rough that we're making him, do his job.
He heads around the bar through another small door at the end of the bar and
Pickling the
disappears.
eggs.
He disappears when he's asked for pickled eggs
He's
and...
obviously going to get something.
Okay, sorry. I thought he was chucking a hissy fit.
He could be.
Those guys at the front, kill them all, kill them now.
Okay, we just... Fresno, is it okay if we sit down?
Yes,
You can drag some more chairs over.
Which we do.
this is my new friend.
Hello.
My name's Ismark Valessa.
Hello,
He's my
Mark.
Valessa. I'm Elris.
Garrus.
Oh, I'm Carrick. Carrick Fergus.
Garrett. He shakes each. Or he extends his hand each in
You're
turn.
currently
This guy is Skian, he doesn't talk much.
Yeah, I'm not a squirrel.
Skian.
Skian,
Yes.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Shian.
Might be later.
And he's not having anything to drink either.
Meet someone special.
Sheriff Wine, who introduces himself,
Yes.
and finally Mish introduces himself.
It's not my persona, I'll have you know.
I'm delighted to make your acquaintance.
Well, thank you.
No, that's a different thing.
Welcome to the Blood of the Vine Tavern. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to buy you drinks, but the next round will be
I know exactly
the
what
next
I'm
round will
doing.
be on me
thank you.
if you wish a second round. I do have a favour to ask. I was just explaining to your compatriot.
Excellent.
Sorry, I'll pay attention to the game.
You just missed him being into his fetish, but you'll find out later.
It's alright.
I'll listen back later. And
Yeah, no, it was a good one. I liked it. I enjoyed my little joke. It's a joke. It was just a joke, alright?
Any available women out there,
Oh my
he's
God.
joking.
I don't dress up as a squirrel.
oh my god,
I don't.
I think that's what we all should be.
I can't
The
edit this.
best squirrel in the
This
whole.
doesn't get edited. This goes straight.
I know.
This is going live to the world. Thank God, 0 people are watching it at the moment.
Somebody's
Ray.
liked
Hi,
it.
Ray.
Somebody has liked it.
Somebody liked it.
Somebody has liked it. It's just
Wasn't you,
disturbing.
was it?
Wasn't me.
Was it
Maniac
Saxon?
like someone before it ends.
I do not have the password to get
It'll
into
be
the Wi-Fi
Ray.
to actually go through the back door and like it.
Oh, you're not on his Wi-Fi?
No.
Oh.
Anyway, I was explaining to your companion here that
Good.
my sister,
The non-vampire.
she's in mortal danger, I believe, and I would like her to get her safely to the
Is-
fortified city of the Lucky.
Is she perhaps by the name of Irina? Irina Indinovich?
She is, but sir, how would you know this name?
Ba-ding!
Dun, dun.
We have acquired a certain letter we found on the side of the road.
Right.
In the hands of a dead person.
Yes.
That's not
We
sounding
didn't kill him.
suspicious
In
at
the
all.
hands of a dead person.
We didn't kill you. I
Right.
wasn't dressed as a squirrel at the time.
And what did, just quickly, what did the letter say?
Can you read, sir?
I can. May I have a look?
Well, then I will hand it over.
Okay, he reads it through very carefully.
Yeah.
Reads it in the bottom, and he said,
Maybe you should keep it and give it to his father.
"It is signed by my father,
Yes.
but this is not my father's writing."
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun.
Does it have a seal?
If it did, we broke it.
Yeah, but the stupid thing on the tree, the stupid waxy things.
What if we ate it?
We didn't.
I was thinking that actually. It's like, how would there not be? Well, maybe we ate it. Like, you know, the wax on the cheese you're supposed to take off. You're supposed to take off. You know. Some people don't. I'm not saying anyone in particular.
I don't know who would write such a thing, but I can tell you, sir, this is not my father's penmanship.
Extraordinary. I am perplexed, sir. Is it a trap?
It's a mystery.
And if so, how?
It's a mystery.
We will hang on to this if you don't mind,
I
sir.
love mysteries.
For it is part of. We will get to the bottom of this
Uh,
shenanigans.
Your food arrives.
And I'm the kind of chap who says shenanigans, by the way.
Very
The barkeep,
sophisticated squirrel.
the barkeep returns to the bar, puts the food down on top of the bar, looks over at you and goes,
Ah! I'll get up and get it. I'm fine with that.
He doesn't look like he's into table service.
How many pickled onions did you get for
I don't know.
yourself?
I don't know what he's got me. Probably some mouldy old cheese and.
There's some cheese, some pickled onions, and some bread.
Does it look edible?
It doesn't look exactly fresh, but it looks like it would
Alright.
be.
Middle age,
Given that we've
nothing's
probably
fresh.
been living on bloody trail rations since 1973, I think we'll eat it.
Hard tack pickies!
So for us, it looks like the nectar
Simply
of the
biscuit
gods.
and punchy rice.
Simply biscuits.
It looks. Look, this bread looks like it was fresh at least a week ago.
First role-playing game I ever run, the party bought like 5 years of hard tack
That was
pickies
mad.
and a wagon to carry it around with.
I would say something about novice role players. They sort of don't. They just sort of. They think of it as a game, and they don't think about practicalities. I guess in-game practicalities.
Sanity.
It's all that mini-maxing, like it's some kind of computer game.
Mini-maxing food?
Gentlemen,
mini-maxing food.
Perhaps after
You should have given us all
his
dysentery.
tone drops a little as you are sitting around this now crowded small table.
Yes.
He says, gentlemen, and he kind of looks over your shoulder to look towards the 3 women that are sitting at the table that have their backs to you. He says, gentlemen, perhaps after you finish your meal, we could talk somewhere a little bit more private.
Certainly. But first, I will have to have a bite of this exquisite pickled egg.
It's not the best you've had ever.
My face, I try and hide my disgust on my face as I chew into it. Num, num, num.
Thank you, Tony.
Num.
So you finish your
What could
Nummies. and your
Let me just-
wine. You still have some wine in the bottle. Do you wish to take with you?
I'm taking the bottle with me because I bought the entire bottle.
Let
You
me
bought- yes,
soak
you
up
did.
the remnants in this rather hard piece of bread. Maybe it'll be chewable.
I have a bottle.
Pass it over. I want to dunk some bread. It's rye bread.
You do.
Argentina are over there, so dunk rye for me,
And I
Argentina.
think this cheese might actually have more mites in it than actual cheese.
I thought that was a rather good one.
No, it wasn't. But anyway.
When I finish this wine, I will be able to fill this bottle with other substances. Unlike his cheese that he can only use once.
What other substances do you intend to fill this bottle with?
I haven't
Urine?
decided yet.
Yes, do you feed or something? What's going on there?
Gentlemen, I think we should leave.
There's the question.
Does he need
I believe that they are in their cups. That would be a very good idea.
The 19th,
he
for the
heads
19th
up
time
north.
this day, Elvis asks, why the hell do I hang around with these idiots?
Just ask me if I'm dead.
He
I was just thinking,
Are you suffering from anemia or
if you're
something?
some kind of vampire, do you need to drink blood or something?
I've
Or
never-
something.
There's no such thing as vampire.
He heads out the door. He heads out the door, turns left. So you're going back past Mary's house.
I'm talking
although
about
you
your
still,
character just in case that wasn't
you
obvious.
still have. There's still no sound coming from Mary's
That's the
place.
dude.
You
That's the
walk
dude
past
where
his-
you
That's right. That's the guy you met with. I've made him the profile picture.
Yeah.
No.
See, reasons my
In his spare
madness.
time, right?
Yes, in my spare time.
No, in his spare time.
His spare
Whose
time?
spare time?
That guy,
That guy,
that
Is
the
the
lesser.
the lesser.
Ismail the Lesser.
Yes, go on.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Is-
call him Bismarck.
Is he the lead singer for some kind of blues grass rock fusion band?
Can we continue? Can we continue?
Sorry. We should just arrive at this point and we'll never get there.
No, no.
He just looks like someone else. Never mind.
You walk past Mary's place and you pass a few more houses. As he says, our place is the large house right at the end of this street.
That one.
He seems to pay no attention to the obvious people that are looking out of various windows as you walk past.
Welcome to Atmosphere
both-
Land.
Both children and adults, it seems that they're trying not to be noticed as they peer out through their curtains. And then quickly, if you even happen to glance that way, they quickly...
Back like a bunch
Quickly.
of curtain flickers.
Pay no attention
Leave.
to the anti-necromancer.
What do they call them? Curtain twitchers. What's the term?
I don't know. This is the first time I've ever heard the phrase curtain twitcher.
No, I think you might be right about that.
May I
it's curtain
continue?
twitchers. Yes.
A weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left swings lazily in the wind.
What happened to your gates?
The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision.
Thank God Ray's in here.
Weeds.
What happened to your gates?
I know he would. He'd want to know, wouldn't he? Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls, the growth has been trampled down to create a path all about the domain. Heavy claw markings have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have assaulted this mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen.
Stains of evil
Dave,
omen.
can you add a perception check for me, please? So roll D20 add perception to it as a draw.
I actually
Natural
got
20.
a 20.
You notice
whatever I normally
straight
get.
away
Yep.
that around the walls, from where you can see, that there are prints left by wolves. And what you notice from a druid is that even with your trying, you notice them straight away. They're so obvious that you think that these wolves were not even trying to hide the fact that they were there. So normally, you would be able to detect wolves that were trying to.
Be furtive,
Yeah.
for example. These are
These were
bold
not.
wolves.
These were just either, and you believe both with a role like that they have stood in place for a long time. They have run round
Are
the
they
house.
normal sized wolves?
You notice some of the tracks are larger than an ordinary sized wolf, but there are some which are wolf size. But you definitely notice, you believe many wolves have been around this
This
mansion
place
very
seems
close.
like it's under siege or has been.
And from a 20, I'll even give you that you think as recently as a couple of days ago, these tracks are that fresh, maybe even yesterday.
Well, that's encouraging.
And other animals that you can't identify, but you definitely can see the wolf prints.
Where squirrels?
Dire squirrels.
Ismark goes up to the door and he knocks on the door. Actually, doesn't get out any keys to open it or anything. He knocks on the door and he waits.
We'll have a thing.
How about diet
There's
chipmunks?
no key for this thing. If there is, it'll probably be broken.
You hear with great difficulty the door start to unlatch, and when it does, A very beautiful young woman is standing in the doorway. She has lovely long auburn hair. What you quickly notice that she sees her brother, and then she looks past him, and she also sees that there are strangers, and she quickly adjusts a scarf that she has at her neck and tightens it up.
I flash her my most angelic smile.
She politely returns the smile and says, "Ismark, you've brought visitors." And he says, "Yes," and he introduces you each in turn, remembering your names because he has a fantastic memory. And he says, "Dear sister, these gentlemen will help us. Gentlemen, this is my sister Irina."
How do you do?
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Fräulein.
Welcome to our house. I'm sorry it has seen better days, but please, you've been more comfortable and safer inside. Please, come this way.
Yes.
She walks down a very long hallway. The interior of the mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room as you walk past. Also,
does she have a few love bites? Do we think? I think that's very cool.
everybody, perception roll. You can even roll for the characters that aren't here.
Okay.
Oh my god! Is it perception?
Yep.
Yes. Where's that on here? There it is.
13 for me.
How about 20? How about 20? Do you like that? Do you like 20? Is that a good amount?
It's
Is
good.
that a good amount of perception?
And urban rolls
What's the long
and gets 20.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It'll work out, don't worry.
The character that there is an elderly man that is in a coffin in this room. It's no ordinary coffin. It looks like the coffin has been constructed from furniture. So you can see the one side is a door, the other side is a bed head. It's kind of roughly fashioned together as you keep on going down. Well, the characters that have rolled 20 can't believe that the others didn't possibly see this. They continue to walk down the hallway, but yet you stop and look this way and take this in, and you haven't yet joined up with the
Soon I will be gimped.
the other character. They continue walking down the hall. What would you like to do, Dave? I think you're the only one
There's
here
an
that's
old
rolling.
Urban sort.
In a coffin.
Well, then you could. Who's playing Urban's character?
I'm playing Urban's character.
Okay, well then you can speak for him. But
I-
you've paused at this doorway.
I think I will, look in the doorway but not go into the room.
Okay. In this doorway, as it's not very well lit, it's only a single candle. Numerous flowers of
He might just be dead.
of decay.
If you're lucky.
It looks like because you got such a great role, Dave, being a druid, these flowers range anything from 3-4 days old to yesterday.
Right.
And they're all about the room. You couldn't help but notice. To you, it's a very strong smell of flowers. You've probably noticed there are more holy symbols in this room than any other of the rooms that you have passed.
Okay.
Is the old man dead? But to appearances,
He's in a makeshift coffin. From where you're standing in the doorway, it looks like it.
That is merely his physical location. He's talking about the state of the body.
From the doorway, you cannot tell.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Can I see
not
his chest
moving.
rising or falling?
Are you standing in the
Perception.
doorway?
He is
Oh,
standing in the door. Well, Urban's
because,
character is
because you're being Shian
Can I have my
or
dice back?
whatever
Yes.
there is.
Yeah, well,
The elvish rogue.
I'm going to give you about, let's say, 10 more seconds before you'll be noticed that you aren't being followed down the hallway.
Amazing enough, that's what you
I
rolled.
got 4.
Look, I can lean
Oh,
all
hang on,
in
8.
and
Sorry.
only just get the top of
Okay,
my
you can't see
bald
whether the
head.
chest is rising and
But
falling.
the
Dave, do
thing
you
is,
want to...
that film's more than what it shows.
Oh, is it?
A
Yeah,
little
there's
bit.
like an inch to either side.
A little bit more.
Dave?
Dave, I'm
Don't
going to
pick
give you
your
about
nose.
another couple of seconds if you want to do something before. I'm going to tell you she's going to turn around and notice that you aren't following. So whether
I am not
that's
going to stay here. I'll just keep coming.
Yeah, just see.
I'll just pick up the pace and
Okay.
catch up with the group.
She turns around to see who's following her down the hallway. From her appearance, you don't notice whether she's noticed that you lagged behind or are just slow coming down the hallway, but she makes no mention of it.
I rub my knee.
What? Okay. She ushers you into like a parlor where you can all sit comfortably. She said, I would offer you something to eat and drink, but we haven't been able to leave the house for a few days, and I'm afraid I have nothing.
I have wine.
That's fantastic.
No, you don't.
We
You
have-
have an empty bottle.
We've
don't
just
you?
come
I
from
haven't
the,
finished
we've just
it
come from
yet.
the tavern, the lady.
You're swigging it out of the bottle
We
like a
have supped
wino.
adequately.
Your glass.
Ah, so you've
Thank you
already
for
eaten and drank.
Eat and
then.
drink. Yes, we are
You
fine.
can't do that. You
That is
can't
good.
take glasses out of public houses.
If I pay 2 gold coins, I can.
Fair enough.
Ismark says, Irina, these gentlemen will escort us to the city of Velaki. And she says, and then she goes over, she says, Ismark. She comes over and they have this quiet sort of conversation, but you make out, actually, perception roll is to see what you do make out of this conversation
Okay,
they're
right.
trying to have in secret.
Urban. Here's nothing. I hear nothing either.
I'm particularly oblivious this.
Totally oblivious.
14 for me.
You're doing all right today, Dave.
Well, you know.
Well, he's the one with empathy.
Uh,
That makes
you,
sense.
Dave, you hear words to the effect of, we cannot leave,
Can't see that on my character sheet.
we cannot leave, what about father, not sure of the church.
Hmm.
That kind of,
That side of it.
that's about all I'm going to give you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
14.
I think daddy's up.
I'm not sure he is. I think he's lying in state. Where is your father?
She, at this point,
Because we got a letter from him.
That's a good point, actually.
It's not in his handwriting.
she looks back at you and she looks down to the floor and she says, my father passed away 3 days ago.
I'm so sorry, madam.
I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry to intrude on your grief, but what happened to him?
The physicians, for want of a better word, say that he had a heart attack, which is quite possible with everything that has been going on around the house. My personal opinion is my father passed away from despair for his people. The weight began to become too much for him, for what the city that he loved has
What's the
turned
city now?
into. He called it his city.
Let him have his delusions. He's dead now.
It simply drew the life from him.
I see. So are you, I've turned to Izmir, is it?
Ismail.
Ismail, sorry. Turned to Izmir, so you're now Burgomaster in your father's place?
Burgomaster is
I would certainly be happy to assume such a title, but that title is far too grand for me.
Understood.
And I don't think the people of the city of Barovia would
In the country of Barovia.
would be happy with me being their Burgomaster.
So who is in charge now then?
Nobody at the moment.
They have to vote him a Burgomaster.
Or, depending on who you believe, the devil himself.
While we're here, actually,
Yes.
so those ladies, colourfully dressed ladies in the tavern. That's the word I was looking for. Tavern.
Who are you talking to?
I will say Ismark.
Okay, so as he draws Ismark's attention, Irina looks at Elris and she says, "May I speak to you in private?"
Oh,
As you wish, my lady.
So we'll continue
Oh,
this
the
conversation.
wolf thing.
We'll continue this
yeah, I love
conversation.
dwarves, don't I? What's that about?
They don't like strange men dressed in armour, wearing big flowing capes apparently, with lace at their throats.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
Anyway, I could jump to his conversation if you don't want to continue, but there we go.
No, I was saying those
Yes.
colourfully dressed ladies.
He doesn't notice that Irina has
Sure.
moved out of his.
Perhaps I haven't
eyesight.
either. I don't know.
Perhaps you have.
Those colourfully dressed ladies in the tavern.
Mhm.
Were you suspicious of them?
the walls have ears,
Specifically,
as
or
we
just
say.
yeah.
They are the owners of that establishment. I do not entirely trust them. I do not like to speak openly in front of them.
Hmm.
I do not know.
Certainly, if I were an agent of, say, I don't know, the devil, I would probably run a tavern. You'd hear all sorts of interesting stories in a tavern, wouldn't one?
I think you and I think along the same lines. So.
I have to say their pickled eggs weren't very good.
They were deviled eggs.
Oh! Oh!
I must admit, I don't mind.
You killed your cousins.
I don't mind eating at that establishment. I am just very careful what I say inside it.
Fair enough, sir. But there's no reason to.
The
Other
devil
than
has
that-
spies everywhere.
Shit. Yep.
Gypsy spies. So we should murder every gypsy we come across.
Well,
Wow. Okay, they went dark.
given that we're in Strahd, that's probably just a bad idea.
Pennsylvania.
Maybe we should start calling it Strahd.
Anything
Strahd.
anything else you wish to say to him before we jump to Jono's conversation?
No, I'm done.
So she takes you over to the side and she says, "Sir, my brother is very keen for me to move location, and I can understand why. He keeps on talking. He's talked for days and days about Valaki and how well defended it is and how there are guards and will be much better protected. And I don't so much mind that, but my father has only just passed away, and I cannot leave him here
Of course he's
in this house. He must be buried in consecrated ground. I cannot, perish the thought of what would happen to him if we just leave him in the house. Who or what would come for him? I would feel much better if he was laid to rest. There is a family plot up in the church. He could be laid to rest next to my mother, which was his wish. Please, sir, do not leave him in this house.
He's in this house.
You all now notice that he's having a private conversation with her, if you so wish to do so. Because her voice rose, so at that point, so now everybody's noticed.
I think we'll keep a respectful distance.
Yeah.
What would you have me do?
We should be on our guard.
I've wanted him.
Gypsies.
I've wanted him buried in a family plot, but simply the body is too heavy for my brother and I to move by ourselves. But all of us, we could carry it.
You're not in my country. We've solved our gypsy problem.
Why have you not got the people from the village to help if he was the respected burgomaster? Surely they should be.
Doria.
That is an interesting question, sir.
Is that next door to
That
wherever
that
we are?
companion's missed, by the way, but a good question. I will tell you what I believe, although others may not think it true. But these people that you speak of are without a soul.
I see. So does that mean then that we would be putting our lives, both ours and yours, into peril should we help you bury your father?
I cannot say that it wouldn't come without any risk, but I am very reluctant to leave my father in this mansion by himself while we escape. Well, I think about the life that the afterlife that he could have if he's buried, in fact, where he needs to be.
Or she's undeath even.
I understand. You say there's a church or a temple nearby?
There is a church not too far from here.
You have a druid with you, by the way, just in case you've forgotten.
Maybe it's
I
not that
know.
type of church.
Well,
Oh, I'm sure we can.
I'm actually trying to also figure out what possible okay, look, guys, we know something's going to gimp us sooner or later. We just want to see if we know what's going to gimp us.
Gimp.
Okay. The clergy at the local church, are they going to be of any existence?
Father Donovich, he will be at the church.
For some reason, I'm predicting he's going to be drunk.
The whiskey priest. Okay.
The Orthodox.
Father
definitely
Donovich
drunk.
obviously has been a friend of our
How
family
long will his beard be?
since I was
The
a
longer
child.
it is, the more useless they are, I find.
understand. I will discuss with my colleagues. And I will.
Okay, I will let you discuss. I will be back.
Yes.
So you wish to discuss something with us?
Arena would like us to go and help bury her father
Okay.
in the local church.
Yes.
Now, she believes that the local village people cannot be trusted. That she describes them as having no soul.
Well, the entire village is made up of zombies.
That is the question that I would have to ask.
I think we would have noticed if they were zombies. I'm pretty good at noticing zombies.
Or revenants, yes.
Well, we could do a bit of the old detect magic or something. You never know.
Across someone in the streets and say, are you or are you not a zombie?
Well, he said without souls. He didn't say zombie.
Well, we can
Which
ask
could
the
be
other
a
question
metaphor.
then.
She said that there is a plot of land, there is a funeral plot at the local church, which her father can be safely deposited into.
If no one else is available, I can consecrate the ground in the name of Miliki.
I don't think you're quite high enough level to actually consecrate ground.
Oh, but
You
I
could
can wave
probably-
him a
You
shillelagh
can wait.
around.
You might. I know. Well, let me just say, Dave. You could put on a pretty
Do
good
the
act,
hocus pocus.
but you're actually not high enough a level to actually consecrate
You need
ground.
more
No
marijuana.
matter how many tickets you put on yourself. All right, but you can certainly say the word.
I will make a
But
vote.
you know what?
That's not
Because
necessary.
you know what? You would know you haven't done it. And whether you want to lie to this beautiful young girl
Well,
and say that her
sorry.
father is buried
Sorry.
in consecrated ground,
Sorry,
it's not in fact consecrated.
I'd forgotten that this was like a spell or something.
Oh
By
my
which-
god, it's a high level
By
spell.
which I mean,
Saxon, how high level is
Yeah.
this spell? Is it like 8 or 9 level or
Something like
David,
that.
I'll just make a vote and we'll make you captain of the boat.
all I can
And
do.
then you can
Oh,
bury
yeah.
her.
He's talking about not the spell specifically, but
I
the
can-
generic
I can
funeral
make-
act.
I can make
Okay,
I,
sure.
I can officiate a funeral.
It has
I
a priest. It
Well,
has
There's
a
a priest and
priest.
there's
Let's just
consecrated
go
ground.
and meet
Well,
the
But
Then
is
say
he
crazy-
trustworthy, or is he in the same
Oh, God.
soulless state?
We'll go to the dead person.
Irina
and
seems
kill
to
everyone.
think that Irina seems to think that the priest is safe.
What
Oh,
we
that's
should
good.
do is go see the priest first before we turn up at his door with a coffin.
Bury the body, bury him.
How's that for a
Okay.
Bury him.
Has Ismark noticed this conversation now?
We've drunk
Yeah.
an Irishman with a dead guy.
Oh, hang on,
Bury
What's
him
his
now.
reaction?
What part of the conversation are you talking about?
Has he heard us discussing that Irina wants us to bury her dead father?
Oh, Jim McCarthy, why did you die? You were the height of your powers.
He hasn't.
Listen, you're off drunk and
He's
with the trunk
over
with a big
talking to
pile of
his-
polythene.
to his sister
Brrrs.
again,
Ding, ding,
And
ding.
he's really saying, we must go. We must go. And then you hear words like wolves, something's going to return, various things like that. And she's really insistent that the body moves now.
Oh, all right then.
Let's just move the body now.
Okay. I was going.
What harm?
I was
Okay.
gonna
What
give-
harm?
I just realised what I was
What
asking,
did
but
they
what harm could it
do?
possibly do moving a body?
Let's go to the land of the
If
dead
we-
to bury the undead and
if-
get attacked by
Okay.
the living.
If we get
When-
ambushed
when
by
you're
zombies
having
and
this
alarms,
conversation
then let's
of-
just have it done.
When you
Zombies
guys
are
are-
bards, oh my.
When you're having this conversation of we should go visit the church, we're going to live there, she makes it pretty clear that she will, if you want to do that, she's going to stay in the mansion with her father. She will not leave the body by itself.
Why are we
yes.
having this conversation? Let's bury the body.
Ismark,
Yes.
Or I'll start digging a
it
grave
is
in the
very
middle of the
clear to
house.
me that your sister will not leave until we have dealt with your father's body.
This is true. I tried to reason with her. I tried to say we just need to go. I love my father as much as she did, but I fear more. I cannot do
I
anything
understand.
for him now, but I can do something
You
for
want
her.
you want to prioritise the living.
Well,
Yes.
we can help out with this. I think.
We can help.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's bury the body.
Let's do it.
Let's bury the body. Bury
What is-
the
what
body.
is the time,
Bury
by the way?
the body.
What, no, I mean, what is the time in the game world?
Oh, in the
On the
game.
game,
world.
Are we-
late afternoon.
Late afternoon.
Let's bury the body.
So let's get moving now.
Let's do it.
May I
there-
suggest we actually, if we're worried about people observing us or interfering,
We should
we
put-
wrap it up and then stick it in the bag of holding so that nobody can see us moving it.
Not in the bag of
No.
Not without cutting it up, you won't be able to get it in the bag of
Oh
holding.
my goodness.
So it's not that big?
No.
Right, sorry,
Well,
okay.
Well, the bag of holding may be
That,
able to
can I
hold-
just say that is an awesome idea?
No.
We could cut it up into pieces.
Oh,
No.
geez.
No.
And
You
then
want to
feed it
suggest
to the
this to
sharks.
Would you like to?
We could send him through.
Here's a
wood
question. I'm pretty good at talking people around. Do I
Corporal
need to-
Smith has
do I
joined the
need to-
garden.
Guys, I suspect we may be facing some sorts of difficulties. Would you like me to go on ahead and have a chat with the father?
Yes, I was
off you go.
the farmer.
The father.
Father.
All right.
The,
Yeah,
Priest.
I was actually thinking that one of us should go on ahead while the rest of us move.
and
the
since I
coffin.
can talk all four legs
or
off a donkey,
one or two,
probably.
maybe two actually, so just in case
Okay.
shenanigans. Just in
I've got a
case it's
persuasion of
shenanigans.
7. Who's got the next highest persuasion?
Where's persuasion? There. I get a +4 in persuasion.
I have 0 persuasion.
Well,
I've got all that persuasion and so is Elf.
as long
This
as
thing,
well then it's
use
me.
invisibility, so somebody carrying it and whatever the person and whoever is it's being carried by that person is invisible.
Me and John are going ahead. They're doing whatever they're
what are
doing.
you doing? You got a clever magic trick.
Invisibility spell. So somebody carries the body, that person and whatever they're carrying become invisible.
But it would
around.
be more than one person carrying the body because the body is heavy.
Don't you have to stick it in a wagon or something?
That is
Or
possible
we're just going to
too.
wander down the road with a coffin
How
on
far
our
are we
shoulder?
carrying this?
That is the big question.
How far away is the church?
The church is on the other side of town, but
Excellent. Perfect.
is.
But
let me
the
just
town
read
is a
it right.
village when it's not a city, so it's all fine.
Be grateful it's just a town at the moment. If it was a city, we'd have to take it through an entire city.
Hmm.
Ding, 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 ding,
It's
ding,
about
ding.
400 feet from the house.
400 feet.
Oh, that's not far.
We can cope. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, me and John are off to visit.
Is there enough?
Father
Is there
Macarius.
enough?
Irina,
Is
will
there
you go and
enough
speak to the
other-
priest to try and arrange this?
I'll just flap my lips.
I just want to stay with my father's body.
You go
if-
ahead, we'll make preparations.
I was about to say,
Excellent.
are there enough characters to carry the coffin now?
Well, there's
Yeah.
5 of you or something, isn't there? Or 4 of you?
If he was a
Fine.
gigantic dude with
Boobity boop, boobity bam boom, and boobity. Yeah, all right, we'll do it. We're good.
How many more do you
Ismark does say to you, so, oh, who's going? Who's going to the two of you?
We have
He
persuasion.
says to both of you, Donovich is an old family friend. He's usually kind to strangers, but he knows me.
Yeah, that makes more sense. So one of you should go with Ismark, and the
I'll-
other should
I'll
help
go
carry
with
Okay,
it.
I'll stay with the body.
Yep.
Make sure they don't
That-
eat it or something.
That actually makes a surprising amount.
First we were going to bring the body, but then we
Sense.
thought if we all ate a piece, it'd be easy to carry.
Hey Pete, where have you
Dude,
seen
oh,
this?
wow,
Where have you
okay.
seen this before?
I pointed it out to you before we came in.
So awesome! We're splitting the party in Ravenloft. Fantastic! What?
This is the
this
second
nothing.
time we've
I
done
know.
this.
We-
possibly
We're
go
going to
wrong?
keep doing it.
I know.
We
Good. I
love
hope
it.
so. I
We
so hope so.
love it.
All right. So
There's
the
only
two.
one character in an NPC.
It's
Yes,
only 400
Ismark.
bloody
And
yards.
Ismark.
What could go
Okay.
wrong?
All
From
right,
the
so-
middle of the soulless village.
So the two of you head off. As you head out, the gates perception check for you, then Jono, please.
It's taking me to lean
plus-
on the old man.
13.
13. In the distance, you hear the
If
howling of
trouble
wolves.
brews, we'll just dump the coffin.
Okay.
And
well,
kill everything.
And whether it's your mind playing tricks on you or whatever, you think the fog is thicker at the moment. But anyway,
The fog
you,
is thicker.
generally pay it no mind as you and Ismark head off down the road. You pass once again the houses. You pass the blood on the tavern. Blood on the tavern. Blood on the Vine Tavern. I knew I'd finally get it out.
Look,
You
driving
keep on
pools of
heading
blood.
down through the town. Eventually, atop a slight rise against the roots of the pillar of the pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft, stands a grey, sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end, and it's worn and weary. The bell tower rises towards the back, and flickering light shines through the holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. Could I quickly just change map? So if you take the that one away. Right, church.
Was that the pub?
Yeah, kind of. In case it ever became important, I just kind of had a
Generic
pub. Just in case you
thing.
decide, I don't know whether you were going to trash it or attack the women. Who knows what shit you guys do?
Well,
that
it
I
occurred to
completely-
me that I could attack the
Yeah,
women, but then
that
I
I
thought,
quickly have to
no.
come up with a map for.
Maybe that
because,
might lack something in the savoir
you know,
faire
because
department.
you've
We had to burn it at the stake. He was attacking women on sight.
I know, right?
Why was he attacking?
Normal maniac would have waited until after dark.
That's the right way for things to be done.
Yep. Can I put this?
Look out, it's a church.
This looks like a familiar church. We've seen this church before.
Probably.
Yes.
That's what we'll do. You're approaching this way.
What's happened to the bell?
Okay.
It's come out of its belfry.
So, actually.
I'm assuming that's. Oh, yes, you're right.
Actually, no, you're approaching the other way. Thanks for reminding me. Good. Let's turn it around. That way. You're approaching. Okay.
Oh, is this important for some reason?
Oh, who knows? But let's see.
But the doors are there.
Alright. Well, let's leave it that way. Okay. The heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire.
Why hasn't he murdered everybody in this place? He's very incompetent.
Well, he's been holy symbols. He's gone. You know how they do the vampires.
Do you know how many religions there are?
Yeah.
If you were actually afraid of holy symbols, it would really stuff up your existence.
Yeah, it's like that.
Perception
It's
check
like
for
that
you,
episode from-
Jono,
was it
please.
Doctor Who with the
Yeah.
guy with the communism?
Natural 20.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yes.
natural 20.
How Zen will preserve me.
Jono, you might want to listen. Jono, you notice not only the claw marks that are around, you also notice that there are wolf prints also around, not unlike Dave's character pointed out to you, I guess he did, around the house,
to himself.
or unless he kept it to himself, you notice that there are wolf marks. You also notice around the side, and only just caught your attention, that someone on the side of the church has scratched into the church, "I hope you burn in hell."
Oh, lovely.
Okay.
I wonder who.
Ismark doesn't seem to notice any of this, and he walks up and he pushes the
He
doors
doesn't notice.
open. Nope. He rolled 4.
Why would
and
somebody
he-
write, I hope you burn in hell on the side of a church?
And he pushes the doors open.
What you doing, Cat? What you doing?
The doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer.
You know, this guy might have it exactly opposite and wrong. Maybe all the guys he thinks are good are actually evil, and all the people he thinks are soulless are actually the normal
I
people.
was just thinking more or less the same.
As you enter in, a small room to the side of you, there is a door, like I suppose for want of a better word, a trap door in the door, in the
I don't
floor,
like the sound of that.
and it's chained, and suddenly it's like something is bashing at it
That's the actual priest.
under there, and then as you walk in, you hear from that room, "Father, let me out! Let me out!" And it's bashing on the door.
Well, we just found Strahd. The game's over. We gotta go home now.
I'm glad we're doing this session in Dave's place rather than mine. I think the neighbours would call the police.
You can still hear down the very end of this long
Ismark,
corridor.
who is that?
Or what is that?
He pauses for a moment, and the screaming, in fact, or the shouting, in fact, stops. But as you pause there and you look that way, it's only dimly lit, but you can see that instead of the door was hitting and struggling against the chain, but now you see that it is lifted, and from there you can see a pair of eyes looking out, and then you hear, "Ismark, Ismark, is that you?
Oh god, it's a golem.
Ismark, come quickly, let me out, Ismark." You still hear the muttering of prayer from down further on.
Hello! Anybody in here?
Ismark, what is going on?
You're not there.
And he,
Oh, that's
he
right. I'm not
thinks-
there. Sorry, I thought we all arrived at once
He,
for some weird reason.
He thinks for a moment. He turns to you and he says, "It sounds like Doru." Doru? Ismark, yes, it's me. Let me out.
It's locked me in here. It's locked me in. Quick.
And Ismark says to you, Dora's been missing for at least a month, we presumed. He's died, but he's been chained up here.
Where is the priest? I think we need to have words.
You can see down there. It's clear down to the end, and you can see an altar that a priest, very much in the distance, but he is kneeling in front of. But he has his back towards you.
Oh, the priest is a vampire. Even he's a werewolf. He's a vampire.
What if he's neither?
What's his name? Ismark told me his name, but I forgot what.
Donovich. Oh, which one? The priest?
Priest, yeah.
Are you a prophet? And a
I
seer?
say in my most
Zealot,
clear
maybe?
and confidence-inspiring voice, Father Donovich, I would have words with thee.
Maybe he's just mad.
From the end, what you can hear is
Seriously, you love your reacting?
Father Donovich, is everything okay?
are you walking towards it?
Because in Bloodborne, that's where they turn into a
Okay.
giant werewolf.
Very
As you
warily.
walk towards him. There are a few more than the map shows. There are a few more rooms on either side.
That's where the
There
zombies
are
are from.
a couple of rooms. One which is a large sort of room, but it contains the room is fairly filthy. It contains a wooden bed with a straw-filled mattress. There is a small table with an oil lamp burning. Mounted above a headboard is a huge holy wooden holy symbol that's shaped like a sun.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not sure that's fine.
Yet the prayer or the murmurings
It's the general vibe of
continue.
the place.
But it gets louder and louder as you get closer to him.
The sound does Red room.
You
Red
keep
room.
on going towards him.
Keep going towards him, yes.
My elder brother, when he was little,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was like when I was quite little too.
He went mad and locked you in the basement.
No.
So as
I'll
as
tell
you approach and you're pretty much behind. Now you notice a couple of things. This kind of altar area. The as you enter the main part of the church, all the pews are smashed. There's all debris all over. There's not a single pew that is left. The altar itself seems to have been kept roughly intact, although its usual ornaments have been taken away, and also in the vestibule, just a bit further on from the altar, now from the roof hangs a rope with a noose on the end of it. As you walk up, and you still
On the wall there is a list showing rostered people for the next
And
service.
and Donovich is
One
still,
person's name is over half of the places on the roster.
I actually was going to kill him.
and Donovich, as you continue to walk behind him, do you stay behind him, or have you walked around to the front so you can face
I
him?
have
Or
a
where are
feeling-
you in this room?
I have a feeling here. I walk between him and the noose.
Okay, you walk between him and the noose, so you're standing on the other side of the altar. You see that he has his eyes closed and he has his hands clenched like this, and he is still praying. But now you can finally hear what he is saying, and he is deep in prayer. And he finally says, dear morning Lord, please deliver me from what I am about to do. Please save these people of Barovia. Please do not condemn me for what I have done.
This is how
And
British
please,
happen.
if anything, when I open my eyes, my deliverance shall come.
Oh God.
And he opens his eyes and he sees you. And his eyes go wide and he just falls back. And he's so, because he hasn't heard it, and he's like skittering back, and he presses up against one of the broken pews, and his eyes are just full of terror.
You're the Messiah, Jono. Say something wise and appropriate.
I look at this and I realise this is a
Go.
good moment.
Hey.
Good moment for silver
Uh-huh.
tongued oratory.
My name's Elris Springsteen.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Fear not, priest.
I am Quito.
I am here for I'm here to assist you.
And he can't say anything, and he quickly looks around and he sees Ismark has followed you.
The appropriate
Happily.
response at this moment is, are you a wizard?
He recognises. Ismark starts to get to his feet, and he says, "But how? Why? Who are you?"
Let's not get too excited.
I am a friend, and I am a friend,
Just a
and I am
scruffy
no
boy
friend
bad.
of that which is evil.
At the point that you say that, from down the other end of the church, you hear the trapdoor being hit again, but this time it screams, "Ismark! Ismark!"
Priest, why is that person chained there?
Oh, my boy, my boy. I cannot do it. I cannot bring myself. I have chained him in there. I don't know what to do. There must be some cure. I pray night and day that I would find a cure. Yet I can't. Then I pray that an answer of what I must do will
Guess
come
who's
known
going
to
to
me.
have to deal with it? Good thing I'm not there.
Well, I'm making a guess, of course. But
And he turns around and he sees
Migratory or vampires?
Ismark, my boy. Ismark, it is so good to see you. And he finally stands and the two guys embrace
let
him.
me lick your
Ismark,
neck.
it's been so long. Where is your sister?
On the way, actually.
Oh God, he's asking about the sister. He's one of them.
No, he's not.
How do we know he's not?
Silence.
We don't know anything.
Exactly. So don't jump to conclusions.
What does
Captain
Ismark
Concludo,
respond?
man.
She is
Oh, I like that one. Concludo,
with my
man.
father.
At this point, I gently say, "It is about this that we wish to speak."
What
Have
can
you
I do?
done?
We need to bury. We need to bury Collier.
What has happened?
Ismark?
Sorry,
It's not me.
And Ismark,
I think you might
we've
have to
hardly
stand up.
left.
It is possible.
Physicians have told them that he died of a heart attack.
The Burgermeister is dead.
I'm afraid that is so.
We killed him.
Oh, I weep for the village of Barovia. What will happen now? He was surely the last good man amongst us.
I'm coming back.
Why do you? This really isn't the time for this, is it? But you cursed my curiosity. What has happened in your village, Father?
We are all doomed.
Yeah,
I have picked up this particular
vampires come
file.
to eat
However,
Lost.
I see evidence of wolves.
At that, you see his eyes go wide and he says, "They terrify us at night. They come from the forest, surround the village, prey on the living."
But surely wolves should not cause you too much harm.
These are no ordinary wolves.
Tell me about these.
They are controlled by Strahd himself. And he realizes that he shouldn't have said what he has said, and he quickly is quiet.
I understand.
And then
I don't understand, but
and
I'm
then
saying that just to
he
be.
mutters to himself, "That name must not be spoken in this holy place."
I'm so glad I'm not there.
Once again,
It is now.
the screaming from the back room begins. "Father, let me out! I'm starving!"
I need something or other.
Feed me a squirrel.
Has your son been bitten by a wolf?
Well, you can
No.
turn into a squirrel, we'll throw you down there, and you'll get a surprise.
I don't think so. My son has become one of them. He joined a group of villagers that went up to Ravenloft to deal with the devil himself. Yeah,
It's always
None
fun
of
when
them.
villagers do that.
Oh, yes.
none of them returned except him, and I don't think it was by accident he was returned to us.
Oh, no. He was set back. As a minion.
How did
I tricked him.
As our infield.
I tricked him and I locked him down in the basement, but
Dealing with
but I knew then when he returned what he had become, and I haven't let him out since.
How did you know?
I could tell in his eyes. He's completely mad.
Okay. Mad. Copy that. How would you know that he was mad in this village? No, sorry, I didn't actually say that.
It still could be the other way around. The son could have stayed behind and the father could have gone and been sent back in completely mad.
But I don't know what to do with him. There must be some way to cure him. There's got to be an answer. I was praying for an answer
The
for
obvious
when
one.
Yeah, I think what is presumably the obvious one.
Yeah.
I've been praying for an answer to come, but I've
Because
not
Occam had a razor once,
Yes.
I have not found one yet, and I continue to pray.
and he cut himself with it.
Although in Stradville this might not be the best
I'll give you
choice.
I know.
Yep. Anyway, go on.
Well, give me a
No, we'll keep going. What would you like to do?
Haggle
Is
for
there anything
money
else
at
you
this
want
point.
haggle for money.
Maybe
I think you might understand that I'm actually thinking about how can we get out of here with our lives right now.
Well,
Not so much money.
we'll be there soon,
Yeah.
depending on how time works in this particular situation. But yeah, maybe if you haven't told him already, perhaps you should give him a heads up that we're coming with a dead dude. But I think
He's
Fine.
already
Fine.
indicated
I
way
would
to
like-
bury them.
I would like you to speak to my comrades because we have some special talents which may be of assistance here. They will be here shortly.
What talents do you
You
have?
stand proudly.
I smile my most winning smile. Many talents. However,
Bagels?
I'm not sure that's what's the word I'm looking for?
Comforting.
Comforting. That is exactly the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Saxon,
One of us is an anti-necromancer.
for being
He
a
brings back
purveyor
the
of
living.
words.
thanks.
I haven't gotten that get far yet.
it's in lesson number 15. I'm only up to 3.
Bringing back the living.
Step 1, correct use of shovel. Anyway, my friends will be coming shortly.
Correct use of shovel.
But the first thing they have is they have the body of the burgomaster, and we must bury it with all possible
Having
haste.
murdered the burgomaster, we have
I,
to dispose of the body quickly.
Of course, I'm only too happy to help, but with this, you don't understand. He cries out day and night. I get no bit of peace. I can't possibly concentrate on anything until an answer is found.
Jesus, just kill his son and move on.
Oh God.
Kill
really?
his son? That's dark, isn't it?
You have a handy noose there and everything.
Well, what's wrong with him exactly? We don't know.
We don't know. We're
What-
not even there.
What is he? He's one of them. That's basically what we
He's
know.
one of them.
He's turned into a
Well,
giant
I find
radioactive
anything-
ant.
Will I find anything out by examining the
He's
sun?
a Ruthenian.
Okay, I go close enough to the trapdoor that I can see the person clearly, but not close enough that he could grab me.
Okay. So as you approach the trapdoor, it's not moving.
Go closer.
Go
Closer.
What's the son's name? You did tell me before.
Doru.
Doru.
Dozor of Quitos. Dozor.
I know you're down there.
Dozor, the unchanging.
What has happened to you, Doru?
I might be able to give that a crack, I reckon.
Roll.
Oh, you got
for
one of those. That's a question. What do I have?
5 plus 2, so that will be 7. That won't
You
cheat.
don't hear anything, and the trapdoor is.
I can do this.
I think
those
that may
are
have
the
already
same
been
things.
done to him.
Okay, I've got no arcana. Intimidation doesn't strike me as having any kind of.
Ismark has come with you, and so he sees that you're trying to talk to him, so he
Although they
kneels
just
down where you
incapacitate
are
them.
and says, Doru, we're here to help. Answer us.
Okay.
Don
I'm a
Rich,
bard.
You should sing it.
Music soothes the savage
Savage
beast.
beast.
I don't have any particular skill, but I'm just going to say, as
Do
a
you have
bard,
any
I am
magic bard spells that might be of use to you?
well, I was looking through that. I don't have anything here that's of any kind of
Not on your
obvious
wonderful
use.
cards?
I don't think vicious mockery is what we're looking
No,
for.
not vicious, not vicious.
Magic mouth would only make things weird.
Magic mouth.
Mage hand.
Donovich.
What does that do?
says, with the three of us, maybe he would listen to us. Maybe we should just go down there and talk to him.
Oh God.
I
How
unsling-
bad could it be?
I unsling my wallet and I sing.
Hang on. Do you have a blade in your war loot?
No, he's having a sing, right? He's not.
Yeah, but you
Apparently he's not planning
It
on
can be
going
used.
down
A
reason.
war loot can be used as a club in emergencies.
I just sort of mind being like those orc loot things.
No, not quite, but it's a blunt instrument,
Okay.
literally. Anyway,
You could do it, Jimmy.
I
Hendrix, and set it
play-
on fire first.
I play a few lines and sing a dwarfish peace song with an attempt to soothe Doru's feelings and to help him to understand that he can trust us.
That might stop me from entering this church.
Right.
Well, yes, it is a dwarfish song, so it does sound kind of.
So what are you attempting to do here? Is it
I don't know if the best thing. Well, the thing is persuasion is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to
Okay.
persuade him that we are of good intent.
right?
So I'm rolling.
Be good and
So I'm singing my song and I'm rolling on persuasion.
Okay.
You're also screwed.
No, 12.
12. God,
12.
you must have.
I've got 7 persuasion.
Oh, that's cool.
Still not terribly great, but it'll do.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
actually, I hope
Seven?
it'll do.
What are you? Oh, the roll wasn't great.
The roll was 5.
You
but-
rolled 5, but you got 7 persuasion.
I know. I heard that
brilliant.
bit. I heard that bit. You've got Cards Against Humanity. That should be banned. That game.
No.
It should be
I like how
banned.
you're looking at the Bible and
Used only
banned.
judiciously, but not banned. It is the dark mirror
Hmm.
reflects our twisted, kinkered souls.
Oh, well, you see what is written on the cards. You don't have any choice.
You hear from the in fact the trapdoor does lift, and Jono, you see these eyes which look quite insane, and
I can see why he thinks that his son's insane.
he says to the two of you, he goes, yes, please unlock this early.
I have an intuition that unlocking this is a world-class bad idea right now.
I think
No,
you might.
it's the best thing you could do.
He'll peel you like a banana.
He
That's
looks
creepy.
Yes, it
he
is.
looks at Ismar
Flash!
and goes, "Need to help me. He's quite mad. I was lost in the woods for a week, and when I came back, he just locked me in here. Before he returns, let me out."
Every hackle in my neck is now rising.
Every happiness will happen if you let him out.
I mean, he might be telling the truth.
Let him out. He wants to play with the living. Let him out. You might have to restrain his mark.
Ismar says just as elders. I have known Dora for many years. I grew up with him. He's never lied to me.
Oh, there's
Look
a
at his
cliches.
eyes. Look at his eyes. He looks as mad as a cut snake.
Ismark, in fact, does take your advice.
Oh.
He looks down, looks at his eyes, and that's when through the trapdoor, Dora grabs him and pulls him towards the trapdoor.
Yay!
Journeying along with the coffin,
Mm-hmm.
gentlemen.
Oh.
Before they do that,
No, journeying along
The coffin.
the coffin, gentlemen. The streets are dark. You notice the fog has grown heavier and
Oh
heavier.
God, we're gonna get gimped.
As you go
What have we
on,
done?
everyone,
Getting
perception checks for everyone, please.
For everyone!
Not you, Johnny, you're not there unless you've got another character that's there. You do.
I do.
He does.
Okay. I've
Jono
got that.
should. I've come to the conclusion. Jono should have two characters all the time, so therefore he can be everywhere he needs to be.
Everywhere. And get confused about who he is.
15 plus.
I noticed nothing. I'm
Ah,
just
19.
feeling the fog.
How about 21? How do you feel about that? Do you feel good?
The druid is on fire.
The druid is, well, druids tend to be. Oh, sorry, no, that's the people around them.
Do I notice this is on
If
fire?
anyone attacks us, they may well be on fire.
Okay, Seraphim only gets 15.
Okay.
Mine gets 16.
Anyone that's rolled 16 or higher,
Mm-hmm.
that is carrying the coffin, notices that through the fog, you can see wolves
Oh.
going in and around the buildings, moving in, but they are very well hidden.
Ah.
Very well hidden. That you've only just noticed them, and even so much, even your mind says, "Are they really there, or did I just think they were there?"
I've got a solution to this problem.
Mhm.
Go on.
I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. My choice. by the way.
Excellent.
Any creature in the area, when the spell is cast, is outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Now, 20-foot cube, how far away are these wolves, do I think? Given
You
that I
have
rolled a
to-
perception of 21.
Like 7 yards.
Oh, they're in and around the buildings.
So you'll get some of them, that's for sure.
They'll get a shock.
So the
if nothing
question
else.
is, do I bathe us in light or do I try and bathe wolves?
Well, if you do this, doesn't it bathe everybody in light?
Well,
But you
it
can-
depends on where I place the
You
cube.
can bathe us in a different kind of light.
No, the point being is I
Oh, I see,
place
right.
a cube of 20 feet within 60 feet of where I am,
Oh.
including
Oh,
on
that's
top of my,
Powerful spell.
including on top of myself. But the point is, should I illuminate wolves? Because I can't illuminate them all.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But if I illuminate around us, if they come within range, then they will be illuminated.
What is the duration of the spell? Is it concentration?
Concentration up to 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You could certainly, they're in and around, so you're walking up a path where you've got buildings on either side.
Mhm.
Okay, houses on either side. The houses are anywhere from about 20 feet, you know, sort of going back to it, and the walls are moving in and out of the alleyway between the houses and moving back into the fog and then coming up.
I
to
think
the
what
street
we
level
will
and then
do,
moving back.
I think what I'll do is I'll centre it on ourselves, and that way it's sort of like a warding, you know what I mean? Because any wolf who tries to get within range will be lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yes.
Now, I will just say that we will all be lit up like Christmas trees.
That doesn't bother us, that's the thing.
Will be.
Does that mean I get to sparkle?
It's pretty bright, sparkly light. You're going to hate it.
Pixie dust! No, get it off me!
It will be pretty much pixie dust.
Frickin' pixie!
How long does it last for?
Concentration up to 1 minute. However,
Okay.
I point out that that's not going to work. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light. It's not going to help if the wolves come inside after the
Oh,
thing is.
So it has to be.
No, it's an instantaneous.
So most likely direction of.
oh God! I've had another. Except I should have cast it before. I found something else that's quite useful.
And that would be?
Just give me a minute for it. Pass without trace. A veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from
Why
detection.
didn't you look? You have failed the party.
For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you,
You
has a +10 bonus. Well, except this is a +10 bonus to our stealth. I'm not sure we can be terribly stealthy while carrying a coffin.
I'm going to give, because you rolled so well, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you roll a nature check
Think all.
on the wall.
check the nature.
Oh my God!
He
is on
kidding?
fire.
17.
That
Oh,
would be a
God.
total 20.
with your druidic knowledge, let's just say, and the wolves that you notice moving around, you don't give, with that sort of roll, you don't get the sort of sense that they are looking to attack, they are looking to observe.
Yeah. So lighting ourselves up like a Christmas tree probably won't be really helpful.
Use fire to light ourselves up.
Well, that was my next option, produce flame. If we don't need enough light to see where we're going, I'm just wondering whether lighting the place up a bit is helpful for just...
Not particularly. I mean, it's
still daylight as far as I can tell. It's
yeah,
just
late
very
afternoon. It's just yeah.
Right.
We just need to get to the church and then we can have the big confrontation in the graveyard.
Somebody comes within range, I'll goddamn moonbeam them to dust.
Thank God for that.
Sparkly, pickly, pixie dust.
Of death.
That's the way I roll. Alright.
Captain Shillelagh.
Shillelagh. Right.
Let me just. Okay. You see the wolves on both sides withdraw quite a bit, and based on your roll, you think it's because
Strangers are
they've
around.
noticed that you've noticed them.
Right.
They're moving a coffin and they're strangers.
So they've disappeared into the fog.
Right. Now, obviously, I think we should, as a group, try and look out in, like whoever's going forward, look in that direction.
For what?
People on the side should look out to the side, and people at the rear, difficult though it might be, to look towards the rear, just
It's a beautiful
in
day.
case we get ambushified.
And there's lovely mist.
Yes.
Irena, who's helping you carry her father's body, notices your agitation, or you've seen something, and she looks. She's on the opposite side to you, and she kind of, as she's resting on it, she looks under the coffin and looks at you and says, "What's wrong?"
She's looking under the coffin?
Well, like she's holding it up on her shoulder.
Oh,
and she
right,
kind of
okay.
ears
All right,
down
okay.
to-
Yep.
And calls out to you. You're not looking down, but it calls out to you. "What's wrong?"
There are wolves in the distance. I say quietly.
Yes.
We are being
they-
observed.
I don't think they are going to attack.
Says the man with the disturbing t-shirt.
What's disturbing about the sad Mickey Mouse type character?
Why don't you feel if you removed his hands he'd have his eyes ripped out or something?
I don't know. It's from a museum.
Maybe it's all the X's on the...
It's from a museum of my art.
You'll need to forgive me. I need to jump back a little bit before you took the coffin out. I should have actually started back at the house.
We're retconning.
I am retconning. She made sure that all the preparations were made for her father before.
Of course you did.
But also she's asked for assistance with one other thing that she needs to get ready. She moves into the main living area of the house or the mansion, and above the mantelpiece there's this fantastic breastplate which is being made to fit her, and she asked for
Valkyrie
assistance.
style.
Yeah, she asked for assistance in
Yep.
putting that on, which I imagine you help her put it on and strap
Valkyrie.
That's not a Valkyrie, right?
and strap to herself. And then she reaches up above the mantle, and it's in its day it would have been a beautiful ornate sword. It's still fairly impressive, and you'd think if someone who knew how to wield a sword would wield such a thing, it would be very impressive. And she takes that and she attaches a sheath and she's carrying it. So I
She's now your girlfriend.
should have mentioned that. So she is armed and can protect
possibly
herself.
dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Possibly quite
But
dangerous.
even you were quite impressed by the sword. It's
It's a good sword.
yeah, nice.
Well, as a druid, I can't carry a sword.
no, true. You
I
can't.
can only. hit
And then,
people
but
with
as she's
sticks.
leaving, she notices that you notice one, and she says, "It's a family heirloom."
Ah, of course. I have many of those myself. My manservant is looking after some of them even as we speak.
Here is the dagger my grandfather used to slice the neck. Of who shall it be? Who shall it be?
Resisting taxpayers.
Yes, of the local tax collector.
You approach the church.
Yes.
Do I need to read the description of the church again?
No,
In fact,
please,
the
no.
doors are actually open.
The only
this,
thing you need to
this
tell
time.
us as part of a new piece of description is: are there sounds of fighting or screaming coming from within?
It's not that you can hear at the moment. So we
That
don't
will
know.
be in a couple of seconds.
You continue up the path to the church. However, this has happened before this moment.
Right.
So we are back with Doru, who has grabbed Ismark and his hands are starting to
Draw
clench
blood.
into his arm, and he's dragging him towards the
Oh, that's
trap door.
right. That's right. Madness is
Yeah,
ensuing.
what was it I saw before?
What's his face is about to get his first meal. Assuming he hasn't
Okay.
eaten all the bunny rabbits in the woods.
Upon this commotion, and Ismark starts to cry out and try and get it, he's screaming out, Doru! Doru, let me go! You hear Donovich coming, running down. He's a fairly heavy-set man, so he's not travelling too quickly. But he comes running down the hallway, screaming, "What is happening?"
Okay. I'm going to try and rescue
Ismark.
Mm-hmm.
I do an impressive rolling save.
Did you roll the dice for this?
What are you
Because
trying
you've
to
got
I'm
do?
things
doing
that-
acrobatics. I'm just going to do this dive to grab
Yes. Okay.
Ismark
Are
and
you
drag
trying to
him
grapple?
safe.
Are you trying to grapple?
Grapple him and bring him
Okay.
safe.
Well, then do a strength check. He's not going to oppose you trying to grab him, but do a strength check.
Well, good. Or slip into the thing yourself.
11. Is that enough?
You attempt to grab him, but as you go to grab him, he actually his whole arm disappears into the trap door.
Okay, what have I got that's actually going to help here?
Remind me never to drink lemonade ever again.
Okay.
You hear mad cackling coming.
Okay,
from
right.
under the
Dissonant
floor.
whispers. I cast dissonant whispers. You whisper
Every
discord-
time I hear you say dissonant whispers, I think of that. What's that song from
George Michael.
George Michael? Oh,
In fact, I was actually going to change it on his character sheet to George Michael.
Okay, righto. So, I'm trying to figure out how I cast it. You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as the speed allows away from you.
Yep.
Okay. So, I'm trying to figure out what I'm actually rolling on.
Doesn't it say?
Doesn't say.
So you're rolling against its wisdom.
Yep.
But what are you rolling on? I think that.
Your
okay.
attack roll, I assume.
Yeah,
magic-
your attack roll.
Yeah, magical attack.
Spell
roll.
attack.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that
Doesn't
is.
say. Show me your card. No, you can't. No. So you are. So it takes one action. It's 60 feet. So it's a charisma roll for you.
Charisma roll. Oh, brilliant.
Go to your spell thing.
Proficiency bonus plus your charisma
Go to your-
modifier,
go to your
so
spell
it'll be
Yes,
2
that
plus whatever your charisma modifier
Hang on,
is.
spell sheet. Hang on, spell sheet, spell sheet.
Yes. Just for a little bit.
Dissonant whisper. It's
No,
spell-
so your spell save is going to use 13.
Okay, 13.
So it's got to beat 13.
He's got to beat 13 plus whatever I roll. Is that right?
No, your spell save is just 13 for this one. So you cast it? You casting
I
it
cast it.
at
Yes, dissonant
It's
whisper
first level?
at first level.
Alright, so it's a first level spell?
You roll a 20.
No.
No.
He lets go of
Ismark.
Ismark and you let's go, and the door comes down.
I bring Ismark to safety.
He has a long claw mark that is drawing blood.
Okay. Okay.
what has he grown claws?
Is it worth me doing a cure wounds on him?
Couldn't hurt.
Okay, cure wounds. It's the same level, so I really can't. I can't do another one of those, can I?
Yeah.
I can.
You got so many.
Oh, I've got 4. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I cast Cure Wounds.
So make sure that you've marked down somewhere that you've done both a cure wounds and a.
I need to rest
in
before I can do those again. Is that right?
No, you get 4 of them. You need a long rest before you can get your spells back. Although, for one of you guys, you actually get your spells back at a short rest, but it might be actually use that happens.
Yes, that's
Okay.
arcane
rest.
recovery.
Yeah. So it's not you. You'll have to have a long rest.
I just can't.
So Cure Wounds. The creature you touch regains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier,
Mm-hmm.
which is 1d8 plus my skill. I think that's +5 there. It's spell attack bonus, but unless there's something I'm missing here.
No, that's right. Just roll that.
Okay. 5 plus 5. So that's
Okay, so
10.
he gets 10 back, yes. The claw marks seem to disappear
Fade.
and he feels a lot better.
Because I'm thinking
his
that
mark says, thank you. I don't know what I was thinking. That is not the man I remember.
if
At
we
this
are,
point, so you guys reach the top of, or you reach the doorway to the church.
We're at the door.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, at the door. The church.
So did this guy sprout claws? Is that what just happened?
no, he's just fingernailed him.
Just fingernailed
He's
him.
always had claws.
Well, I don't know, but there's no reason that unless there's something.
He
you've
hasn't
done.
become especially bestial.
Should we like walk
Um,
into the church with our body?
Donovan reaches where Ismark is and he sees that you've that you're looking at Nick and he says, Ismark, my boy, are you alright? What has he done to you? You cannot get too close.
He's all right.
He may not be if he's got the lycanthropes.
No, I've already asked that one.
Werewolf cooties.
Yes.
He hasn't got werewolf cooties. Whatever he's got.
Cooties.
That doesn't mean he hasn't got anything nasty. It just means it's not werewolf cooties. Is that right?
You could have
Well, at least that's assuming the father is actually
Does
telling the
cure
truth.
light wounds or whatever you
You
use?
get Renfield syndrome.
Does that work as an antibiotic?
No.
No.
No, you can get infected. I'm not talking about
Okay, in that case-
necessarily.
You're not.
Renfield cooties.
No.
It doesn't, it
In
won't
that
cure
case,
lycanthropy, no.
in that case,
When
I
you
say
have
to
magical
the
food.
priest,
Mm.
his arm was clawed, but he's otherwise all right.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay. I think the priest knows something about what's going on. So
Well, no, I'm not sure he does other than he's mad. He's gone mad. But
Blaming him for committing suicide, but yeah.
one would imagine if you lived in Transylvania, right? that
Stroudsilvania.
you've heard of.
Welcome to Stroud World.
You think you'd heard of something like lycanthropy before?
Yeah, but they never admit to it, do they?
No, they.
Typical peasants.
we prefer the term morphologically gifted.
Excuse me.
That's right. You didn't have to be that dismissive.
I prefer beverage challenged myself.
I seem to be
Okay.
very challenged.
Father?
What am I to do? What am I to do?
You just need to stuff the trapdoor with straw and set fire to it, and the problem will go away.
At this point, he turns around and he notices the rest of you have come in and with this makeshift coffin.
The dance macabre.
And he says, Irena! And he hurries to her and the two embrace. And he says, Irena, it's been too long. I'm so sorry for your father. What has happened?
He is dead.
And she starts to cry.
As you would.
And he says, Irena, it only seems like yesterday when your father returned from the woods with you.
Turn from the woods with you.
That's when they murdered that guy with the message.
Okay. I don't like the sound of that at all. Is that how children are normally born in this town?
Who are you talking to?
They grow up the mushroom patch in the woods.
Could have happened last week, not when he was born. What did he say?
Okay, he said, it feels like only yesterday that your father returned with you from the forest.
That's where the babies come from, the forest.
Well, I'm not quite sure what that means. I'm not willing to immediately assume that means she was born in the forest.
Well, no, but it does sound
Or
pretty
that he acquired her from the forest.
He went to a tree and he bought a baby.
There are other
Okay,
circumstances
No,
in which
no, my parents explained this to me. This is where babies come from. You go
What
to
I'm
the
hearing
woods.
is sounding. What I'm hearing is sounding, to use the technical term that is common in Britain, dead bent right now.
What?
However,
you bury a cabbage and you wait for a stalk and a rabbit.
goodness.
And
What's happened? Was there some sort of weird brain transplant operation between you two that I wasn't previously aware of?
No, we talk gibberish like this all the time. Yeah.
It's normally him talking gibberish. It's you're talking unusually other. Anyway,
You're usually intelligent, David.
I'm convinced that I'm no.
That you're what, the Messiah?
no, he's just a naughty boy. Anyway,
I've decided I'm now Kevin Spacey.
Now is
And
not-
I am
now
darkness,
is
the
not
end of
time
everything.
to be Kevin Spacey.
Now you want to be Kevin Spacey.
I
No.
shall read a statement. I have decided to live the life of a crazy.
Oh, there's crazier.
Will
than
your
Kevin.
future character be like what? Weinstein?
Maybe you should declare.
why not
yourself-
Woody Allen? I mean, you know.
Oh my
Maybe you
goodness.
should declare
What's
that
wrong
you
with
can
you?
pardon yourself of any and all
Oh my
crimes.
goodness.
It's truly. I'll say one thing for Trump. He's testing the limits of American democracy.
And sanity. Sorry.
And hopefully this will mean that they'll actually do some kind of level of reform.
Nah,
after this.
eventually.
What would you like to do?
I would like to run away from this village, but since that doesn't appear to be an option,
Don't ask me. I have no morality.
I've heard this thing. I
Well,
don't
one
know.
thing we can do is inter the poor man into the ground and do the jubilee-doo.
Ah, the body. Okay.
Yes.
Remember, I thought you meant the other guy.
Oh, we can throw the other guy
I
in with you.
understand your concern to your son, and I would like to help
Father,
you with your son.
no.
But first, let us deal with this. First, let us deal with the Burgermeister. Then we can ask.
The
then we can deal
Burgermeister,
with
Meister
these
Burger.
questions.
Let's just bury the body.
Well, it's a tomb, isn't
And
it? So we just have to get him into
I'm
the tomb.
pitching it with undertones of.
Why do we need
All
the
be
priest? We
all
could have done
right.
that already.
Well, because the priest has to do the.
I get a 19 on my
For
persuasion.
what?
Bless the thing. Bless the whole thing.
And what will blessings do?
He thinks about it for a second, like he wasn't
I
going
thought there was
to.
something about
do it,
family
but then
kings and
He goes, yes, I guess you're right. It is time that we put this man in the ground.
I don't believe I just did that.
For too long, he has been
putrefaction.
waiting.
Sounds nice to me.
So, is it
He
literally a tomb or is this a
Question,
grave?
should we surreptitiously stick a stake in him while we put him in the ground?
Oh God, no.
No. But
Let
but,
nature take its course.
He says,
but we should draw the
Let's-
session to a close soonish.
let us head this way. And so he takes you back through the church. Gentlemen, this is the first time that you've seen that the complete chapel is a shambles with overturned pews and candles mounted in candlesticks that have been scattered to the four corners of the church. He goes out through a very small door on the left-hand side of the front of the church, and it opens out into the church grounds, of which you can see that there are various family plots. The church is the grounds itself is surrounded by a fence, but it's a small iron fence that is fenced off from.
Of course,
the
night
surrounding
is
woods.
closing in.
Night is in fact closing in. It is very late afternoon by this point. He
Then there's
walks towards. He
storm clouds
knows
down.
very much.
And in the east.
He is walking side by side with Irena and her brother, and he's speaking to both of them and assures them that everything is going to be all right, and assures them that they're lost. And I imagine the characters are just carrying the coffin because
Oh,
the two are
yeah.
walking.
Yes.
Right? He says, everything is going to be fine, my
Oh,
children.
yeah.
Everything is going to be fine now.
Yes.
Yes.
Fine
They
and
reach
happy.
They reach the plot, and you guys put the coffin down, and Donovich stands there, and he has his holy symbol around his neck, and he clutches it, and he begins to pray. Yet his hands begin to shake quite violently as he's praying, and he's saying. He's trying to mutter out this prayer, and everybody's looking just a little bit uncomfortable. And then he turns, he opens his eyes, and he turns to you, David, and he says, I can't remember the words.
Oh God.
I will make an invocation of Maliki.
Jesus.
Is that all right?
Because no, you don't understand. It's not that the words are failing me. It's
That you can't actually say them. Something's stopping you.
it's all the wolves. And then as you look, and you don't know how you ever noticed it, but around the grounds of the church, up very close to the iron fence, you literally
Pixie
see
dust.
50 or 60 wolves. And what you do, in fact, notice that as it takes one step forward, there is a wolf that is at least 3 times as large
Of course it is.
as the rest of the wolves.
Of course it is.
And it locks its eyes upon you, Saxon.
Ooh.
Are you the tasty one?
And
It would
that's
seem I
where
am.
we will finish for tonight.
You mongrel. Okay, right.
And on that ominous and foreboding statement, we shall take leave for the evening. Meet us in 2 weeks for round 3.
I think it's time for fairy fire, kids. I'm going to fairy fire these guys.
You go for
Not
it.
right now, obviously.
I'm just going to murder everything inside.
Then Moonbeam, of course.
Possibly even the players.
Moonbeam. Moonbeam.
I have to.
Actually, that's what Moonbeam is for, isn't it?
Frying vampires, yeah.
Well, I was
If
thinking
anything's going to fry vampires.
frying vampires, little buddies,
Babies.
anyway.
Eat the babies. Eat all the babies.